In this video, we are going to look at sculpting. If you like content like this, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. It is very helpful. Let's get into it. Sculpting in Blender is similar to what we have seen with dragging vertices around, except now we will do it much more intuitively. It's like sculpting with your hands, so to speak. Let's take a look at some of the tools that we will use to sculpt before we actually do it. While still in layout mode, delete the cube with the delete key. Next, let's press Shift with A and add a UV sphere. Next, switch the sculpting layout at the top here. You will see that the mode has changed to sculpt by default, but you could have also done this while in the layout workspace. The reason that we want to use a UV sphere in this example is that it has a lot of vertices right out of the gate. You could use a cube as well, but you might want to use the loop cut tool to add more vertices, extrude the faces, knife it, loop cut some more, etc. But this is easier for our purposes. The brush is the main way of interacting with any painting in sculpting mode. While click and dragging in the 3D viewport, it will create a stroke and apply an effect depending on various brush settings. If you have a drawing tablet, it would actually be much more intuitive to sculpt, but it is not necessary to have one, as you can sculpt with a mouse. But, much like we will see in a later course in Krita, you will lose some of the dynamics that you get with a pen stroke and tablet over a mouse. Without changing anything, we have the draw tool selected by default. The shortcut to get back to it is V if you were on a different tool. Simply left-click on the surface to extrude the vertices outward. Holding Shift and clicking will depress them. Here are the most common hotkeys for controlling the brush. After pressing these hotkeys, you can then either adjust the value interactively or by typing in numbers. Move the mouse right or left to increase or reduce the value. Additionally, with precision, with Shift, and/or snapping, with Control, activated. You could confirm with the left mouse button or the return or enter key, or cancel, right mouse button or escape. You can set the brush size with the F key. If you press and hold the F key, you can draw your cursor around to change how big the brush will be. Pressing Shift with F will change the strength of the tool. This essentially means how far will the vertices impress or depress when you move them. And you can rotate brush texture or set brush weight with Ctrl F. This is kind of meaningless with a round brush, however. You can also invert the brush direction effect by holding Ctrl. If we look at the sidebar, we see a ton of brushes that we could use. We will leave it to you to go over and experiment with each of them, as there are just too many to cover. For painting and sculpting modes, each brush type is exposed as a tool in the toolbar. The brush, on the other hand, is a saved preset of all the brush settings, including a name and thumbnail. All these settings can be found and changed here in the tool setting: brush, texture, stroke, fall off, and cursor. Clicking on the brush thumbnail will open the data block menu to select a brush. You can also change the thumbnail if you want. We don't actually have any saved, but if we click Add Brush, we will duplicate our brush and add it. We also have the fake user icon, which is the shield icon. Enabling this button will ensure that the brush will not be deleted, even if any tool does not use it. And then we have the unlinked data block, which is this cross icon. Then there is the unassign the brush from the active tool. Hold Shift and click it to remove the brush from all users, so it will be deleted upon reloading the file or purging orphan data. If we click the arrow, we can change the brush specials. We can enable the brush to be used in different or even multiple modes. For example, the exact same brushes are used in both weight paint and vertex paint mode. We can transfer the brush preset to be used by a different brush type, or reset all brush settings to the default values of the current brush type. And that will do it for this video. Thanks for making it all the way through. If you enjoy software educational content like this, please like and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next video. See you later.